Hi, guys. The past couple of months, I have noticed people in my life that have been mentioning things that were happening to them that they really weren't understanding. And the more I thought about it, and the things that they were mentioning, they sound like um, they are starting their awakening, and they really don't know what's happening to them. And I know that right now we are in a period of a mass awakening, here in the 3D. So I thought that I would do a video on Ascension symptoms. I'm going to try to keep it short. I'm not going to go over every single symptom, but just so that you guys have more of an awareness of what's happening and what's going on when some of these things happen to you, um, and you're not like freaking out. Um, so I guess the first thing I should say or let you know is that the ascension process or an awakening is the process of the spiritual awakening that moves you to a higher level of consciousness. Um, it's it's perceiving of a dimension that a dimension of reality that is beyond the confines of the ego. So when I say the ego, I am talking about the mindset of me, your sense of self, those types of things. So I've noticed that one of the first things that people tend to notice and don't understand why it's happening is repeating numbers. A lot of people will start to see 1111 and not understand what it is. I know that some people believe when you see this number, it's, they make a wish, or I've heard some people say, oh, 1111, make a wish. I never heard that. But you know what? If that's your belief, fine, go for it, make a wish. The 1111 number is actually a double master number, the master number 11, and it is about manifestation. So when you do see the number 1111, it's letting you know that the things that you're focusing on are manifesting quickly in your life. You will see other repeating numbers. Why is it getting dark in here? You may see other repeating numbers, or other master numbers are the double numbers like 11, 22, 33, 44. You may see the triplicate repeating numbers 111, 222, 333, 444, all the way through 999. Some people will say 000 is not a number. It is actually a number, and it talks about God's protection. But I'm not going to get into what each number means. What I will say is that when you see the repeating numbers, it is Spirit's way of trying to capture your attention. And even if you don't know what the numbers mean, when you see them, at the time that you see them, try to think about what you were focusing on, or try to remember what you were thinking about at the time that you saw the numbers, because there's a message related to that thought. You can Google the numbers. There are a lot of different meanings. I would Google under angel numbers, the meanings, and then, every number, I don't want to say everybody's going to have the same definition for each number. You have to look at what you're finding and then say to yourself, what does that mean for me? And it's not going to be, 444 talks about the angels being around us. But depending on what I'm thinking about at the time, it may be a different message for me as opposed to someone else. But that is one of the things that I noticed, one of the first symptoms that I see in people, and they don't understand why they're seeing these multiple numbers. You could also start to suffer from headaches. Mainly with these headaches, you're going to have a throbbing in your third eye area. Um, and a lot of the times this happens during meditation. It is a sign or a symptom that your third eye is beginning to open. Um, during meditation, you may also start to see waves or flashes of light. Um, you can, once your Kundalini starts to open, you will also, not just during meditation, but during other times, you will also see those waves or flashes of lights. And that's just spirit around you, letting you know that they're with you. As far as the Kundalini energy, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's the life force energy that sits at the base of your spine. And then as you are awakening your chakras, it moves up your spine as you're opening up your chakras. It will feel like, it'll feel like a wave. It will feel like this wave of energy going up your spine. While you're meditating, you may feel like you're floating. I remember the first time that happened to me. I was sitting on my bed. I wake up every morning. I immediately sit up in bed and meditate before doing anything else. And I remember being in position with my eyes closed and feeling like I was not even sitting on my bed, like I had levitated off the bed. And I did think to myself, holy shit, I'm floating. And I was afraid to open my eyes to see if I was actually touching the bed or if I was floating. I didn't open my eyes. I just kind of slid my hand down and yeah, I was still on the bed. But you will feel like that. And that is a lot of the reasons that when you see pictures of gurus in a meditation, I don't want to say stance, but in their meditation pose, they will be pictured off the ground. So it looks like they're levitating. Because once your Kundalini awakens, you will feel that. You'll feel like you're floating. You will also, you may, when you're sitting still, feel like you're waving back and forth. Not that other people can see that happening, but that is the Kundalini energy flowing through your body because your chakras have awakened, you're vibrating at a higher level, you're lighter. That energy is just being not released, but it's flowing through your body and you don't have a lot of blockages anymore. So if you're sitting and you're meditating and you're praying, or even if you're just sitting still, sometimes watching TV or really focused on something, I notice when I do readings, I will sit there and I think I'm being still, but I can actually feel like I'm, like a wave back and forth. I don't know any other way to explain it, but it just feels like a light wave. Think of a beach wave. I will say that the awakening process is not all rainbows and unicorns and glitter and sunshine. It is not for the faint of heart. There are a lot of hard situations that you go through. One of them are going to be aches and pains that you didn't previously have. Common areas are your joints, your neck, your shoulders, your jaw, anywhere where as your body is trying to release the negative energy, the energy gets stuck. So yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun. That's all I'm going to say. So if you have these aches and pains and you go to the doctor and the doctor says, well, there's nothing really wrong, this is probably what's going on, especially if you're having any of the other symptoms that I'm going to go through. So, just be self-assured that it will eventually go away. But it is a sign that you are moving to vibrating on a different frequency. For some people, they may find that they start to gain weight. I went through a period where I was paying a personal trainer, working out with her 3 to 4 times a week, eating healthy, not a bunch of junk food, and I was not losing weight. I was actually gaining in the process. And it was during one of my ascension periods. So, again, there's really nothing you can do about it. You just have to remember that your body is changing, and it's adapting to the amount of energy that you are now circulating through your system. You may have a change in eating habits, and it comes out of the blue. You are going to start to crave healthier foods. I went through a period where I couldn't eat enough oranges. I was literally, for about a 6-week period, eating oranges they were they were going out of style. I was going through like a bag of oranges in 2 days. I would sit and eat 5 or 6 oranges at a time. And in one of my Facebook groups, when I had said something about it, there was a bunch of us at that time that were craving oranges. Some of the other members of the group were craving, I think one woman said she was craving carrots. Another had a thing going on for asparagus. So, but those are the things, you may find that you're going to eat less meat. You'll definitely be, I don't want to say totally repulsed, but, fast foods are not going to be your thing. You're not going to eat a lot of processed foods. Your body may even react differently to those foods when you do try to eat them. But a lot of the times you're just not going to crave them, and your taste buds are going to change. I used to eat bags of Doritos. They were my favorite. I can't even think about eating a Dorito right now. Your body will react differently to, I don't want to say drugs, but like caffeine and alcohol. If you drink, you may be more sensitive to it. I'm more sensitive to caffeine, and I used to drink Coca-Cola all the time. Can't do it now. You may find that you're drinking a lot of water. You may crave it. So that is a symptom. If you find that you're craving things that you never really wanted, or that are healthier, or you can't stomach processed foods anymore, that is a symptom. Your TV, you're going to have heightened sensitivity. So your TV viewing habits may change. I stopped watching the news years ago and didn't really understand. I mean, I understood why, but I didn't understand that it was part of the awakening process. As an empath, watching the news was extremely hard for me. By the time the news was done, I was depressed. I was crying. It's too depressing for me, so I can't watch it. A lot of the times now, the TV in my house rarely goes on. And when it does, I'm watching Disney movies with my grandkids, or the Hallmark Channel, or, do-it-yourself things around the house. You may not be able to watch violence anymore. You may not watch TV at all. I used to be one of those people where the TV was always on in my house. Even if I wasn't watching it, it was there for background noise. TV is very rarely on in my house anymore. Your music habits may change, the types of music that you listen to. You're not going to be listening to, how do I want to say this? I don't want to target any one genre of music, so I'll just say you're less likely to listen to types of music that are going to be degrading to women or any other population. You're less likely to listen to music that has a lot of cussing, swearing, or talks about the negativities of life. Um, so, you know, that will be something. I'm not going to say that, you're never going to listen to that. Um, Listen, I'll throw Ozzy on in the car, and he's my favorite, and I always get a speeding ticket when he's on, but I love Ozzy. Do I listen to him all the time? No, absolutely not. His screaming will give me a headache. You will have a heightened sense of awareness. You may start to have ringing in your ears, and it's not tinnitus. If you go to the dentist, okay. Go to the doctors and get checked. The doctor says your hearing is fine. The ringing in your ears is, for a lot of people, it's when you're getting downloads, and you don't realize that you're getting them. That is when spirit is giving you information. Sometimes you'll get the ringing. Sometimes you will hear singing like an angelic choir, very faint, off in a distance, but you do hear it. You may hear voices that others don't hear. And no, I'm not talking about a psychotic breakdown. I am talking about spirit talking to you. Sometimes you can hear them very clearly. If you ask, they will answer. If you don't want to hear the voices, you can tell them, listen, you have to contact me another way. You have to show me a sign in another way. But these are some of the signs and symptoms of ascending to a new level. You may also see, I talked about the flashes of lights. You may also see orbs. You'll see things out of the corner of your eye. That is spirit walking around. I mean, if you're at my house, you're going to see it all the time because they know my house, anything goes, except for when my grandkids are here. You may also start to see auras and not realize what you're seeing. And an aura is going to be, it's the area around an object, not just people, but around an object. It's their energy field that you'll be able to see. The first time I saw an aura and didn't know what I was seeing, how do I describe it? Okay, when you're going to the gas station and you're pumping gas, sometimes you see the wave of gas fumes. That's what an aura looks like. Until you really are able to focus in on them and see their colors and see the outline, that's what it's going to look like. It's usually I want to say like 1 inch to 2 inches from the person or the object going out, but it will look like a wave. It'll be clear but wavy, kind of like the gas fumes. Some people are really good at seeing auras. I don't see them all the time, but there are times when I don't want to say I'm really focused, but when I'm really open, that I will see auras around anything and everything. Let's see. A heightened perception. You may be able to look at something and see the details very clearly, very quickly, where others can't. You may start to crave solitude and alone time, where once you were a very social person. And I'm not saying that you're going to remove yourself from every social situation, but you may find that being around a lot of people causes anxiety, especially if you're an empath, because you pick up on everybody else's moods and everybody else's feelings. And as an empath, you can take them on as your own. So craving solitude or being in solitude allows you to regenerate, to get refocused, to get regrounded. You may want to spend a lot of time in nature or a lot of time just in silence. When you're alone, some people will watch TV, read, whatever. Some people just want the silence. They don't want any noise around them. Change in sleep habits. You may find that the more downloads you get, the more sleep you need. Your body is getting accustomed to the new energy and the new frequency that you're vibrating on. Um, if you are waking up, you may find that you're waking up around, some people say between the hours of 2 and 4. The what they call the holy hour is really between 3 and 4. That is when the veil between the 3D and the 5D is the thinnest. And if you are waking up um, at in within that hour, spirit is definitely trying to contact you. I usually wake up um, usually around 3:30, um, and I immediately go into meditation. So if you're waking up at that hour, I'm going to suggest that you try meditating, because at least for me, that is the easiest time for me to receive the messages that I need to receive. If it's, something extremely important. If they're waking me up at that time, then they're trying to communicate. Um, you may feel like time is speeding up, and you may actually be jumping timelines and not realizing it. So you can feel like you're losing time. You're looking at your watch and it's, say, 9 o'clock in the morning, and the next thing you look at your watch and it's 2 in the afternoon, and you're trying to figure out where the hell all those hours went because it feels like 10 minutes passed. That's very common. Colors are going to be brighter. Not only are colors going to be brighter, but you're going to be able to see colors on the spectrum that you never saw before. So when you're looking at a sunrise or a sunset, where in the past you may have only seen the oranges and the yellows, you may now start to see like the pinks and the purples integrated in that. So that will be, you might also suffer from photosensitivity. So even on a shady day, you may feel like you need to wear sunglasses because everything is just so bright. Change in your social circle. You are going to get to a point where you don't want toxic people around you anymore. You're not going to want that toxic energy around you anymore. If you're an empath, you are not going to want energy vampires around you anymore. And you will be able to feel people that are leeching onto you and sucking your energy. You're going to feel extremely drained around certain people, and you're going to avoid them. And you may actually have people, I talked about this in this morning's daily message, where some people may just drop out of your life. Friends and family that have been around you all your life, they're just not going to want to be around you. And it's nothing that you have personally done. One of my mentors in a discussion once said, as you ascend, your presence will aggravate others' demons, and they will not be able to be around you. It has nothing to do with anything that you've done. It's that they just can't be around you. Satan can't be in the presence of God. And I'm not saying, we're good or bad, or we're better than thou, or holier than someone else. But that's really, what it boils down to, because you are emitting such positivity and you're vibrating on such a higher level that low vibrating people and people that are in those negative and toxic arenas and those energies are not going to, they're not going to want to be around you for whatever reason. Let's see. You won't be able to deal with chronic complainers. Again, they're going to be energy vampires. And you're not going to want to deal with people who are materialistic, because your view on what's important is going to change. So where you may in the past have been focused on material items, you're now going to focus on people and living in the moment. So rather than having a material object be important to you, um, the experiences with people are going to be what becomes more important rather than the material things. And you're going to focus on your daily living and living in the here and now. That's not to say that, you're not going to want nice things or live in a nice house or drive a nice car. It just means that you understand, hey, if, you get in a car accident or somebody hits your car or damages it, it's not the end of the world. You don't fly off the handle. You're not going to, um, okay, I drive a Ford versus a Beamer. It really doesn't matter. They both have four wheels. You're getting to where you're going. One isn't better than the other. So those are some of the some of the changes that you're going to find as you begin the ascension process. And two things I want to say. The ascension process is not a one and done thing. You're always a work in progress. You are always moving up to a higher level. It's not where, oh, I'm here now and I stop. No, you may go up to the next level and keep going. You're going to keep going. So you're not always going to stay stagnant. It's not like, okay, I've ascended and my kundalini's awake and it's over and done with and I'm great now. No, get ready for the next ride on the roller coaster because it's right around the corner. The second thing I want to say is I'm going to advise. I know that there are a lot of people that want to awaken their third eye and be able to see things a lot clearer. I'm going to advise to please do it naturally. And with that, I mean through meditation and allow the process to take its course gradually. I know that people have talked about getting there with DMT, substances, and ayahuasca. I'm going to say that I'm not going to give those a negative review. I've never done them. And as someone that has a Native American background and a African American background, I'm going to say, I come from cultures that pass those traditions on. What I will say is that I feel like certain people in the current society are not well trained, they are not well versed, and they did not receive the teachings from the elders. So if you are going to try any of those substances, it needs to be done with an elder, with someone that understands the cultivation of those items or products, and with someone that can monitor you closely. I personally think if you're taking that route, then you're cheating, but that's just my opinion. The other thing I would like to say is there are a lot of videos on YouTube that talk about or that promote opening your third eye. I am going to advise staying away from those videos. It's very hard to tell which ones will gradually get you there and which ones will immediately and forcefully open your third eye. And as someone that used to work on a psych ward, I will tell you that if you open your third eye prematurely, you're going to end up in the psych ward because you are going to see shit that your eyes are not ready to see and your mind is not going to be able to comprehend. So please stay away from those. Do it naturally. The best way, honestly, is through meditation. There are a lot of good videos on YouTube that help with meditation, true meditation, not anything that is going to focus or force your third eye open. So, with that being said, that's what I have for you today. Hopefully, I gave you guys some information that you didn't previously have. If you have any questions, feel free to, comment on the video or reach out directly to me on my page. I have a Gmail. You can message me, Facebook message. But, I'm not going to tell you that I know all the answers, but I will answer you as honestly as I can. And if there's something that I don't know, I will try to head you in the right direction. So, with that being said, I hope everyone has a nice day. Thank you. Bye.